Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am Why we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills. Because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ follower's perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with Katie Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to One Brothas Mind and Katie Smooth. We're coming back at you with a new report. I hope you all are doing well. Family, wow, it just doesn't stop. Got a new report this evening to share with you guys. There's a new CDC alert. Let's say that. There's a new CDC alert many of you may not be aware of. And no, I'm not talking about the monkeypox. We're talking about this. Yeah. It's pronounced Petrovirus. Okay, there's a new CDC alert. We're going to chop it up on this here really quickly. It's going to be a short report, but before we get into it, please make sure to smash the like button, share, and make sure you're subscribed to One Brothas Mind, because we bring you the information and facts you need. Okay, family, over the last couple of weeks, really, there has been a significant uptick in cases of Petrovirus. Well, a lot of y'all are saying, well, what is Petrovirus? Basically, well, I'll get it. I got an article I'm going to share some highlights with you from, and it'll explain a little bit better than I can. But there's some things y'all need to know. Okay. I'm reading an article actually out of the Indianapolis Star. Was reported here on July 19th, actually, just a couple weeks ago. If you go to Google right now or today and punch in Petrovirus, there are news reports from pretty much every state in the country. Yeah. And you're going to see why in just a moment. Okay, the article I'm reading from the Indy Star, the headline is the CDC issues health alert warning to parents, warning especially new parents about Petrovirus. What is it? What are the signs and symptoms in babies? Okay. All right. It goes on to read just a couple of the highlights. Most cases of the PEV or PE capital V dash capital A3, that's the clinical identifier of it for Petrovirus. Most cases of the Petrovirus strain is most commonly associated with severe disease. So there's multiple strains of this already. But the capital P, E, capital V, dash, capital A3 strain is the strain that is most associated with severe illness. Okay, the CDC has issued a health alert approximately around the 12th of July. Okay. The CDC said most of the reports that are about this new strain, this most serious strain, the PEV-A3 strain, most reports it's getting are for this strain, the more severe strain. Okay. Petrovirus, what is it? Petroviruses are common in childhood pathogens. They're similar to enteroviruses such as the polio virus. Okay. There are 4 types, like I've mentioned before, and the PEV-A3 is the strain or version that is most associated with severe disease. Now, this virus type, according to this report, is common. It's not new. It's common for children. Okay. But this new strain, there's been a significant uptick in the new strain. Okay. All across the country. Or in other words, as the article reads, what is slightly unusual is that the CDC is reporting cases from a few months back suggesting that the natural etymology of these viruses has changed. Okay? According to the CDC, the symptoms for most children include respiratory tract infections, fevers, and rash. But in infants younger than 3 months old, symptoms may include fever, sepsis-like syndrome, and neurologic illness, including seizures and meningitis. Yeah. For those who don't know what meningitis is an inflammation of fluid and membrane surrounding the brain and spinal cord. Okay? Any evidence that a child is not thriving, has a fever, is lethargic, irritable, has a lack of interest in food and in drinking, seizures, or uncontrolled movement, contact their physician. Okay. The CDC said infected people can transmit this virus regardless of whether they're in asymptomatic or present. A person can be contagious from 1 to 3 weeks through the respiratory tract, and as long or as up to 6 months through their gastrointestinal tract. Okay? Although someone could be infectious for a long time, the actual illness may only last for a few days. Or in other words, it's a very short-lived, self-resolving infection for most. Okay? In rare cases, and they always put that, y'all. If it was rare cases, we wouldn't be talking about it. They wouldn't be reporting on it. But in rare cases, the virus could cause damage to multiple organs in the body, such as the liver, brain, and lungs. It can cause permanent damage to the brain, and the patient could die. Yes, there has been some deaths, a few deaths that have already been reported, even though the numbers are low. Okay? Let's see here. Where we go? In a small number of especially young infants, it can be very life-threatening. Newborns are more likely to develop severe infections compared with other age groups because their immune system is still developing. Okay? There is no specific treatment for petrovirus. To manage the symptoms at home, you're supposed to use over-the-counter medication to control the baby's fever, such as ibuprofen and acetaminophen, and plenty of hydration. All right, we're going to get to some of the good stuff here because none of this sounds good. What are ways to prevent petrovirus transmission? Well, one is to always practice good hand hygiene. Okay? And then also, parents of newborns need to seriously consider limiting the number of people outside the household interacting with the baby. And they go as far as to say, instead of kissing the child's face and hands, they suggest outside visitors should kiss feet or toes. Yeah, family. There's the petrovirus now. In addition to the monkeypox, the other virus that killed over 1 million people, and we can't talk about here on these YouTube streets. We call it the predator, the monkeyvirus, petrovirus. They found, if y'all remember, I did a report just a couple of weeks ago. They found the polio virus in the sewers over in the UK. Family, let me explain something to y'all. You see it on your screen. I keep doing these reports. It almost seems like every time I do these reports, there's another one. And this is all just in the last couple of years, and specifically just this year, where you got monkeypox, polio found in the UK, and now the petrovirus being reported. And what's significant about the petrovirus, especially here in the US, just in the last month, like I said, in the month of July, all of a sudden the CDC has dropped this new alert because the petrovirus is actually being found in most US states. And it's a significant amount, more than all the previous years. In addition to that, it's significantly being reported in newborns, the most vulnerable and affected by the petrovirus. That's the point that you need to get new parents, new moms. Okay? It can, in some or in severe cases, cause neurological problems, as the article read, and developmental delays or permanent developmental delays. So this is not something y'all want to play around with. New parents, new moms. Okay? Now, yes, the numbers are small. That's how all plagues, all viruses and things like that start off. Okay? As of yet, there is no total number that has been tracked or is being reported across the U.S. because they just started tracking this. You're getting this information from One Brothas Mind early. Okay? That information should be coming soon. Literally, the CDC just made this alert and just started tracking. So they're still gathering numbers. Okay? But to give you one example, in Tennessee, there was a cluster of 29 cases. 29 infants hospitalized. So that doesn't include all the other cases that they just sent home and hopefully things worked out. But 29 cases of newborns being hospitalized with severe illness, enough to be hospitalized. And in Tennessee, 1 death has been reported. And if you do your research, you're going to have to go from article to article to article. There's no one article that right now they're not doing summary reports. News outlets from each state are only reporting information on their state or their city. Okay? So the information is all over the place right now. This is an early report. More information will come out as we move forward. So, but just looking at that Tennessee, those early numbers, you know, of course you need way more numbers to really scientifically be able to say this, but 1 in 29, That's pretty significant, y'all. Okay. Um, in 29, again, being hospitalized. New parents, new moms. Hey, everything cool until your baby gets sick. Especially with an illness or virus that there is no cure for. They just kind of naturally get over it, and their immune systems, for most, eventually beat it. But for many, for 29 families or new moms in Tennessee, there's reports in Florida, Connecticut, everywhere in the States. The parents that their babies have to go back into the hospital, yeah, that's not a fun experience. Okay? That ain't no joke. And there's some babies that are actually contracting this while in the hospital before they've ever went home. If you go through and read the articles from different states, you have to read. I'd suggest you read about 10 or 12. If you're a new parent, read at least 10 or 12 different articles. You're going to see this pattern. There's reports of parents that have lost their babies. One baby only lived 8 days because they contracted it. I think that was from Connecticut. Okay? Parents are warning, putting out warnings in reports saying, hey, y'all, there's a problem here. Okay? Again, the CDC has just started tracking this stuff, y'all. So y'all need to get ahead of this. Okay? In addition, you're looking at, by this point, with everything that is going on as far as plagues and plague-like things that we're dealing with right now and have recently dealt with over the last couple of years, if you're a parent, if you're not being more significantly protective of your young children and your infants, if you're not keeping them out from around a bunch of people more, something wrong with you. And I know some of y'all going, nah, man, you tripping. Okay. I don't know what it's going to take for y'all to get the message. I hope nothing bad to occur. But you had the predator. You got monkeypox running around. They found polio over in the UK. And now petrovirus. And 9 times out of 10, family, there's going to be some more viruses and plague type stuff before the year's out that's going to pop up. Okay? So, y'all need, hey, man, if you ain't being significantly more protective of yourself and your children, especially your babies, something wrong with you. Okay? I remember, just on a quick personal note, I remember when I had my children, it was many years ago. They first had my children. And I informed my ex-wife when she was literally in the hospital, to have our children before they were born. Our first child, and she knew the routine about our second child. But when we had our first baby, I told her, I said, okay, I am going to make sure everybody that comes to the hospital, all of our family, friends, whoever, wants to see the baby, I'm going to make sure that everybody comes to the hospital before they leave. I'm going to inform them that they're not going to see us, including the baby, for about 6 months after they leave the hospital. And for them not to, don't just show up at our house because you're not going to get in. We are not opening the door. You are not welcome at our house for the first 6 months. My ex-wife looked at me like, what's wrong? What? I was like, there is a lot of illnesses and diseases and stuff that babies, especially newborns, can catch, for those that didn't know. Okay, and I did this over 17 years ago. So I'm not new to this. All right. You don't know where people have been and what they've been touching and been around. Okay. The last thing on this earth you want to do is have your newborn baby all up in the face and around and being touched and handled by all, your extended family members and friends and strangers. For whatever reason, and it really it's hard for me to not even be able to understand this. There's a lot of people, the day they have a baby, they immediately are running around, carrying their baby around, showing their baby to everybody, giving their baby to everybody. I know we want to celebrate. I get it. But no, that's like the worst thing you could possibly do. And I remember telling my ex-wife that, and we had a discussion, a brief one, in the hospital. And I was like, this is what it is. What it's going to be. Sorry. Because when your baby, especially a newborn, gets sick, ain't none of these family members or family friends or relatives, ain't none of them gonna come and try to help take care of your baby now that they're sick. And y'all already can't sleep with a newborn, but when a baby gets sick, oh my God, those that have been through, early illnesses and sicknesses with their babies, y'all know how bad it gets. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. And it's not because you're tired. This your baby, and it's oftentimes very little you can do to help them feel better. And they just screaming. Man, okay. Anyway, y'all go ahead. But I remember I told my ex-wife that, and we had a discussion about it, and I listened to what she wanted to say, and then I told her what it was going to be. And that was it. That was in the discussion. And as that first day or two that we were in the hospital, the family would come in. Now, you got to remember, you're in the hospital, they force in the newborn unit, and you come in, you could be around the baby like that. They force you to use hand sanitizer. It's everywhere. Different things like that to help keep down the spread of germs and viruses. Okay? And when I told my ex-wife this, I told her, I said, we're going to have, when the 6 months time is up, we're going to have big old bottles of hand sanitizer right there in the house. So before they walk in the door, here you go. Here you go. Okay? And I might even have some masks at the time. But this again was like 17 years ago. She was like, ain't nobody wearing no mask. They kind of pushed back on that one, but they was like, we'll do the hand sanitizer. We ain't doing the mask. Okay. Whatever, we're gonna do something. But yeah, family, petrovirus. This ain't what you want. And new moms, new parents, this ain't what you want. This is not what you want to have to deal with. The other parents are warning you. The reports are really early. Again, there's no comprehensive or summary reports that have been done yet in the news. All the reports are still specific to each state or each city. So you're going to have to read 10, 15 different reports before you really get a good gist of what's happening. And again, there have been at least one, if not a couple, reported deaths. Okay, so we're going to keep our eyes on this petrovirus development. Again, for children, 3 months and older, it typically is not as much of a problem. It's not as severe. But newborns, that's the most dangerous population to the petrovirus. Okay? So, also on the screen, I keep reminding you guys, y'all see it. We're getting plagues and plague-like things, and there's more coming, y'all. I told people, or actually it wasn't me. I can't take credit for that. Early on during the Predator, while I knew about the Predator and informed people about the Predator early, once it got to the point where everybody finally believed that the Predator was real and was here and everything, a wise friend of mine, we were having a discussion, and that wise friend said a quote that I keep repeating. The Predator and everything we went through with that, it was all just training for what was to come. Okay? So again, y'all, they're coming. This is in scripture. It's on your screen. Matthew 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation. That's happening. And kingdom against kingdom. That's happening. And there shall be famines. That's happening. And pestilences. That's happening. And earthquakes in diverse places. That's happening, y'all. All of these are the beginning of sorrows. Meaning it's going to get worse, y'all. So, again, family. Petrovirus. You not aware, get to getting updated. Inform yourself. And for those new moms, a lot of y'all young today, ain't nobody told y'all, stop taking your newborn babies fresh out of the hospital up around and have them up around everybody and being around a bunch of different people. Stop doing that. You're putting your child in danger. Whether it's the petrovirus or whatever other kind of virus. They don't have immune systems that are developed yet to fight off most of this stuff. Okay? In addition, when you have a newborn baby, the only people that your newborn baby is supposed to be around is the mother, or being held by. Let me say that. The only people that your newborn baby is supposed to be held by is the mother, the father, and the immediate siblings. Because newborn babies use smell to identify the mother, the father, and their immediate siblings. So if you tossing your newborn baby around to anybody and everybody, school friends or whatever, you're hurting your baby's initial development. There's plenty of time. You got your whole child's life to show your child off to all your friends and peoples. Stop it. Do what's best for your newborn baby. Stop it. And now you got FaceTime and Zoom and all that. Hey, straight. There you go. Turn on your phone, FaceTime people, show them the baby. Don't do that. FaceTime. That's way safer. That's way safer for your baby. I mean, we didn't have that, 15, 20 years ago, but you got it now. Use that. Don't have your baby up around any and everybody like that. Don't wish nothing bad on nobody, but doing that, your child could end up with petrovirus or something else. Okay? So just want to give y'all this quick update. Make sure y'all are aware. There's stuff out there, y'all, and there's more coming. So stay informed. Remember to smash the like, share on all your social media, because YouTube has the One Brothas Mind YouTube channel under a shadow ban, but we can beat that by you sharing on all your social media. The One Brothas Mind video reports. And make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your peoples is subscribed. Yeah, so we're going to leave it there. Let's chop it up about this in the comments. If you know someone that has experienced this petrovirus with their baby, leave some info in the comments, man. Try to be informative and especially help warn everybody else. Let's talk about solutions here. And I gave y'all some. Stay home. Keep your baby at home. Keep your baby away from. I mean, you can go to the park or whatever, but go by yourself. Don't be hanging around a bunch of people with your newborn baby, man. Stop it. I mean, there's common sense things that you can do that you ain't got to fool with all this and go through a lot of this stuff. But you know how some of y'all are, you know. Just, hey, man. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave it there, y'all. And this concludes this broadcast from One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new Black media, B1 choices are mandatory and being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.